That was the most impressive Knicks win of the entire season. The Knicks versus Denver game was a game I had circled on this road trip because I knew it was going to be a difficult game. But if the Knicks won it, we were going to send a statement to the NBA. Not only did we beat the Denver Nuggets, we blew them out, and we did it behind performances from OG Anunoby, who dropped a career-high 40 points. We also got a career high in assists from Jalen Brunson, who gave you 17. And we're not talking about Karl-Anthony Towns versus Joker because we don't have to. Cat completely outplayed Joker once again. The Knicks won this game behind their defense, but they also won it because of the amazing performances of OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson. We needed to win this game. We needed to put that Utah Jazz loss behind us. Not only did we do that, but we did it in dominant fashion. An impressive win over the Denver Nuggets. We're going to break down exactly how the Knicks destroyed Denver and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. OG Anunoby goes off for a career-high 40 points. This Knicks team that faced the Denver Nuggets last night looked like a completely different team than the team we saw go against the Utah Jazz. This Knicks team was locked in and focused from the first quarter, and you could see it. What an annihilation over the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets, by the way, are not a bad team. They were coming off a win over the LA Lakers. That was a great win for them as well, too. But you can see that team goes with Joker. And if Joker's not involved, if Joker's not in the game, the non-Joker minutes, the Knicks can take advantage. And that's exactly what we did. In the first quarter, after that first quarter, we were up 12 points. And after that, we never looked back. We continued to dominate them each and every quarter. We beat them so badly that Jamal Murray and Joker, their two best players, were benched in the fourth quarter because the Knicks went on a rampage. They were dominating. Each and every player were doing their own thing. But OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, and Karl-Anthony Towns absolutely stole the show. But OG, you have to give him a little bit more shine. And the main reason why is because his defense was elite. There's a play here where he blocks Joker, gets the steal, goes all the way in transition, and scores and converts on those 2 points. His impact on both ends of the floor makes him one of the best players on this Knicks team. He's somebody that now the Knicks look to for offense. One of the major reasons we won this game and we dominated was because of OG Anunoby. And what a way to move forward on this road trip. I said it before. If we come off this road trip with more wins than losses, it's not going to matter about a win streak. It's going to matter about how many wins we have in the win column. And having performances like this from OG is exactly the way to do it. The New York Knicks dominate, abuse, destroyed the Denver Nuggets 145 to 118. Here's my game summary for last night's game against the Denver Nuggets. The Knicks delivered a more or less wire-to-wire blowout win over the Denver Nuggets, bouncing back decisively after their loss to the Utah Jazz. Exceptional ball movement, elite defensive plays, and dominant performances from Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby defined this game. Anunoby's career-high scoring performance highlighted his growth case for most improved player. He absolutely deserves that award, by the way, because right now on the Knicks, you can't find a better two-way player. We also have to mention that the team had 45 assists, which matched a franchise record. That franchise record was set back in 1979. This complete performance showcased the Knicks' potential on both ends of the floor and made a statement against a strong Western Conference opponent in the Denver Nuggets. Now, I'm not saying that the Knicks defense was perfect last night. It wasn't. It still needs a lot of work. We allowed a lot of open threes from the Denver Nuggets. Thankfully, they didn't make them. We also allowed them to attack inside the paint a little bit too easily for my liking. You saw that in the first quarter a lot. You also saw that in the fourth quarter, but I'm not really going to make anything out of the fourth quarter because the fourth quarter was the Knicks versus Russell Westbrook. The starters and their minutes, though, that's something we have to talk about. We were playing them in the fourth quarter all the way down to the 2-minute mark, and we didn't pull them until then. I understand you want to win a game. I understand they were making a run, and I understand Russell Westbrook was making you play the starters. But at some point, you have to run with your bench and you have to trust them. You have to trust them with the lead because I don't want to see something happen. I don't want to see an injury happen. I don't want to see anything like that occur when we are looking so good right now. When we're starting to become the team I knew we could be. Freak accidents could happen at any point in the game. Why leave your starters out there when you don't have to? But either way, the game against Denver was an impressive victory. And it was impressive because we saw OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson give you this for the Knicks last night. OG Anunoby gave you 40 points, a career high. 16 of 23 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. Jalen Brunson, as the Knicks destroyed the Denver Nuggets, he had 23 points, 4 of 5 from 3, 17 assists, which was a career high for him. And that was the 12th most in Knicks history. This duo is looking better and better each and every game. Brunson is finding Anunoby. Anunoby is finding Brunson. But what is most impressive is the way Anunoby is getting his shots, getting his offense, because he's not forcing anything. The best thing about Anunoby this season is how patient he's been. He's patient with everything. When he's inside, he's not forcing a shot. He's looking for the best shot. And sometimes that means don't go up right away. Wait for the defender to blow by you and then go up for the shot. Maybe you don't get contact, but it's the easier bucket. Or sometimes you wait for contact. You wait for that player to jump up and then you jump up, you get contact and you make the basket anyways. OG has been doing it in each and every way imaginable. Cutting, he's scoring that way. Making the mid-range, he's scoring that way. Faking the three and driving, he's scoring that way. Actually making his threes, he's doing that as well too. But you have to give credit to the captain in Jalen Brunson because he wasn't forcing anything last night either. And he wasn't settling for the three like I thought he was doing against Utah. He was taking exactly what the Denver Nuggets were giving him. If they allowed him to go inside and penetrate and create, he did that. If they were allowing him to shoot the three, he did that. He didn't force anything, and it became beautiful basketball to watch. Him and OG Anunoby destroying Denver in that third quarter was amazing to watch last night. And it was impressive because they were picking them apart. The way they were moving the ball, the way that everybody was touching the ball, everybody was confident in shooting the open three. Cam Payne or Josh Hart or Karl Anthony Towns, if they were open, they were taking the shot, or they would mix in some fakes and they would drive to the basket. And that would disrupt everything that Denver was trying to do. Sometimes Denver would try to fight back and try to make their way back into the game. But the Knicks, every time Denver did that, they stifled them with defense. They made sure they got an offensive rebound and they got another second chance opportunity, and they destroyed their confidence by either nailing a three or converting on 2 more points. And that's what the Knicks need to do against the good teams, against the best teams in the league. And don't get it twisted. Denver is one of the best teams in the NBA, even though last night they didn't look like it because the Knicks embarrassed them. But that goes to show you, no matter how good you are, some nights another team is going to have your number. The other night, Utah had our number, but last night we had Denver's, and we destroyed them in the process. We talked about OG Anunoby and what he did. We talked about Jalen Brunson and how elite he looked, how good his offense looked, how good his playmaking looked. But there was another player last night who did something a little bit quietly, but when you look at the box score and you see the points he put up, the rebounds he gave you, and how efficient he was, you gotta believe that we have to talk about him as well too, because he absolutely destroyed Joker. He outplayed him, and his name is Karl Anthony Towns. let's take a look at exactly what he did for the Knicks last night. Karl Anthony Towns last night, as the Knicks dominate Denver, he gave you 30 points, 15 rebounds, 3 steals, and he shot 80% from the field. The Knicks set franchise history last night with 45 assists, the most ever. Actually, it was tied for the most ever. We covered that earlier. And 145 points, the 11th most ever in franchise history. That is an absolute dominant performance. When you put it all together, it's no wonder the Knicks beat the Denver Nuggets down. It's no wonder we dominated them. When we're doing all of this, when we're getting the performances that we're getting from OG, from Jalen Brunson, and from Karl Anthony Towns, how can we not do it? Not to mention, we're shutting down Joker, their best player. He wasn't doing anything because the rest of the Denver Nuggets did not show up to play. They left their heart, their bodies, and their soul in LA. They did not come back to play the Knicks, and we punched them in the mouth unapologetically. And we came into that building last night against Denver, and we ran them out of it. We destroyed it. We made it our hometown, our building. At the end of the game, we were hearing chants for the Knicks and OG Anunoby. We took over their building. And that seems like a theme. Wherever we go, wherever we win, Knicks fans pop up, they show out, and they show their love and support. Looking at some of the team stats here, obviously the things that jump off the page. The Knicks shot 60.9% from the field. Conversely, the Denver Nuggets shot 44.6% from the field. The Knicks shot 52.8% from 3. Denver only 33.3%. Turnovers, we were equal. And rebounds, we out-rebounded them by 10. 43-33. So let me get this straight. The Knicks shoot 60% from the field, 52% from 3. Conversely, the Nuggets shoot 44% from the field and 33% from 3. We out-rebound the Denver Nuggets by 10. Oh yeah, and by the way, we also passed the ball 45 times, which is a franchise-tying record. We set that record, by the way, as a franchise in 1979, and we just tied it last night. That should let you know how good this Knicks team is in terms of moving the ball, moving themselves, passing the ball, and the fact that we have a number of playmakers on this team, because OG Anunoby can pass, Karl Anthony Towns can pass, Josh Hart can pass, clearly Jalen Brunson can pass, career high 17 assists. It's contagious. When your superstar is passing that way and everybody sees that, everybody on the Knicks wants to do it. They want to get involved. They want to pass the ball as well too. And you were seeing that. Everybody was doing that on the floor, and it was helping to get better shots, more open shots. And that was helping the Knicks dominate this game even more, win this game even better, and make sure the Nuggets had no shot, no chance to try to crawl back into this game. Let's look at the team stats even more and take a look at exactly how the Knicks dominated Denver. As you can see here, points in the paint, 62-46 in favor of the Knicks. And in terms of assists, the Knicks obviously had 45, tying a franchise record, as we just mentioned. But look at the Denver Nuggets. They only had 23 assists. You're not going to beat any team when you're passing the ball that little. Denver usually moves the ball a lot more. But last night, they just did not have it in them. But one thing that may go unnoticed on this team stat sheet here is the fast break points. The Knicks, 24 fast break points to the Denver Nuggets 8. And the Knicks defense was the main reason for that. Our defense in that second quarter and the third quarter was stifling. And that defense led to steals. The steals led to transition buckets and led to easy baskets. It led to that for OG Anunoby, for Josh Hart, for Jalen Brunson, for Karl Anthony Towns. Every player was able to maximize their impact because of the way the Knicks were playing defense. The team defense, want to make sure I make that clear. The team defense last night was some of the best defense I've seen all season long. Now, was it consistent for 48 minutes? No, it wasn't. Definitely not in that fourth quarter. It dropped. But in the third and second, that's where you saw elite Knicks defense. The first quarter, it was a little bit up and down. I thought the Knicks were allowing Denver to attack the paint way too easily, go inside way too easily, and they were scoring at will. But in the second quarter, we made it a lot difficult for them. We took that away, and we made them have to rely on more of their three-point shooting. And even though their shots were open, they were not going down. And since they were not going down, their confidence in them went down as well. And that's how the Knicks were able to exploit them, take advantage, and win this game in blowout fashion. If we can do this against the Denver Nuggets, we can do it against any team in the entire league. And if you were wondering what message we were sending, it was that message. Don't define us by one game. Define us by our season. And our season's already telling everybody in the league. Offensively, the Knicks are a problem. And once we get our defense together, everybody better watch out. Because that team at that point is going to be exactly what we all want them to be. Unstoppable. But what about you guys? What did you think about this dominant, amazing, impressive performance from the Knicks where they destroyed the Denver Nuggets 145 to 118? And they also had 45 assists, tying a franchise record set in 1979. They also had 145 points, the 11th most ever in Knicks franchise history. Let me know how you feel about all of that and your thoughts on last night's game. Did you like a couple of things that I didn't mention from last night's game? Maybe a couple of things I didn't mention from last night's game you didn't like. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.